What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. We are down here in the garage with the 2019 Silverado, and yes, we have some goodies for the 2019 Silverado 1500 5.3. Yes, this is a 5.3. Did not get a chance to get a 6.2. I wanted a 6.2, but the price was right for the 5.3, and it was available for me to purchase at the price I wanted to purchase a new truck for. So that's why I went with the 5.3. I'm not a big towing guy, so didn't absolutely have to have the 6.2, but it is what it is. I absolutely love this truck, and love it enough to throw some mods at it as well after paying for it. But this is very common with these trucks, these two products right here. I'm very excited for these two products. So first off, we have the Pulsar. This is, we'll just read it off the box right here. Greatly improves overall drivability and throttle response. It does some other things as well, but we'll get into that later for that specific video. The next thing we have here, number 2. Actually, this will be mod number 1. That'll be number 2, and I'll explain why in a second. But Cold Air Inductions sent us a cold air intake. All right, it took about a week and 3 days to get here. Why? Because I guess they didn't have any ready to ship out the exact time in which I placed the order, but it actually got here pretty fast. It was only took a week and a couple days. They said they were going to ship it out. I ordered it, I think, on a Monday. They said they were going to ship it out on a Friday, and it actually shipped out that Thursday, and it is now Tuesday. So just a week, just about. But explaining why we should do one or the other first. Cold air intake is going to be first. All right, why are we doing the cold air intake first? Because the Pulsar is going to work hand in hand with the cold air intake, based on just horsepower stuff and stuff like that. But the reason why we actually want to install the cold air intake first before the Pulsar is because we want to stick our Pulsar on the cold air intake box. It's going to be on this back side, which you can't see on the box right here. But once we get everything installed on the truck, you guys will see why you want to install this first and not this first. If you install the Pulsar first, basically you're going to have to unvelcro it from the factory air box, or where that factory filter box that's in the engine bay on your current stock intake, and re-stick it onto your cold air intake if you choose to get a cold air intake. But if you don't choose to get a cold air intake, you're just fine just buying your Pulsar and then installing it on your factory intake. But for you guys that are doing both options, like I have right here, like I'm doing on my personal truck, get the cold air intake first, install this first, and then do the Pulsar. This will be your final touch before you hop in the truck to go for a drive to hear your intake. Install this. I promise you, it's great. Get a lot of good feedback from this, a lot of reviews on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, whatever. It's all over the place, especially for these trucks. Greatly improves some things, gets rid of, the main one is gets rid of that auto stop feature. There's a mode on here that you can turn that off, and it will never come back on unless you remove the Pulsar from the engine bay, and then it'll come back on and revert to your factory settings. But if you have this installed, that annoying feature will definitely turn off and be gone forever. You won't ever have to turn that feature off manually like everybody has to do when they get in these trucks and newer cars nowadays. You have to manually turn that thing off every single time you start up a vehicle, and it's annoying. The manufacturers have their kind of reasonings of why they put it in the vehicles now, to save gas, but everybody knows it's really sometimes not really worth it. Some people agree with the manufacturers and that it is worth it, but most, I'd say, at least I know I'm safe saying this, at least 70% of the population hates that auto stop feature. And basically, especially with the gas prices now, it's not saving anybody nothing. So back to this, install this first, install that second. So let's go ahead and get into the cold air box here, and then we will later on get into the Pulsar video. So this will be the first video here, and this will be the second video